with Ultimate Fighter contestant Jessica Rakoczy, and of course, those of you watching the show, we all know we got a little guy Jesse here. What's up, Jesse? Jesse's about worn out. But Jessica, last time we saw you, you had just competed in the, or just tried to get on the show. We weren't able to reveal anything, but you had made the show at that point. But I haven't seen you since then. So what have you been up to since, at least since the wrapping up of the show?
Well, first off, from the time that I seen you, I was preparing for that first fight to get into the house, and that was by far like the toughest fight I've had in a long, long time against Revelina Berto. Right. And she had me in, yeah, I said the wrong name. She was super tough and had me in so many different submissions, but I was able to get out of them. And one thing, she was just so much bigger than me. She fights, I think, at 45, and myself, my last fight was at 22, so it was really tough. What's it like fighting in that kind of environment where normally you're in arenas or that kind of thing, but here you're in such a small little thing, no real crowd reaction, that kind of thing? Is it a little different, the feeling? It was definitely harder, the atmosphere and everything, because you're so used to your own coach and the way that they prepare you, and it's, you know, you're kind of like on your own, like when you first start, until you get that vibe or you get that rhythm with the coaches. So that was tough for me, especially because I separated my shoulder first fight, so it was rough, like going through all that. Well, let's talk a little about the show. The one guy we know has got fans have gotten to know a little bit of this guy here, Jesse. You know, during the show you had talked about being away from him. So first of all, when you got to finally come home, what was it like the first time you got to see this guy? Because we know how emotional you were being away from him. So what was it like when you first got to see him again? Yeah, I definitely looked like a crybaby on the show because I was missing Jesse so much. You know, I picked him up at the airport, and I just like, he didn't let go of my neck. Yeah, he was in Canada for that time frame that I was gone, so when I seen him, he did not let go of me, like, the whole time. And the goshi. Yeah. Where did you go, to Canada? No. Yeah, remember when the mummy was away, when I was fighting? Yeah. Just like that, yeah. So you were in Canada where your mom was winning 48 titles, right? 48 titles. Oh, thanks. So kisses. Okay. Well, you had mentioned that, you know, you were emotional a lot of what they showed you. How do you feel like you were portrayed? Do you think it was accurate? Because the one thing it was kind of surprising to me, because I don't know you well, but I know you from the gym. You know, I've never seen emotion from you. You know, you're kind of the girl comes in, does her thing, and leaves. So do you feel that it was an accurate portrayal of you? Or are you happy the way so far you've come across? Well, like, while we were in the house and, you know, going to the gym, it's a total different vibe. But when you get in that trailer and they're asking you questions, and they always ask about my son, and that was like a trigger point for me to start crying. Like, it made me like lose it. But I was always crying in the trailer. But I was fine outside. Right. You know, like I was concentrating and I was focused, so that was good. But yeah, that's the way I'm a sensitive person, so I was like doing the interviews and I was crying because I missed my son. I'd never been away from him, so being away from him for like 6 weeks was torture for me. Let me ask you about the way a couple other people portrayed in the show. First of all, your coach, Ronda Rousey, she's come across some people a little abrasive to some people. How do you feel that she was portrayed? Is it pretty accurate as far as, or do you think they've kind of taken some liberties to appeal maybe more to TV goers? No, that's the way she is. She's very hardcore, Ronda, and she's very sensitive too. You see her like 1 minute, you know, she's really aggressive and angry, or you know, she's passionate, very passionate, and then, you know, she feels our pain if somebody's hurting, or, you know, she was very upset. So that is exactly the way she is. You know, you can't be something that you're not when they're filming you. It is what it is, you know? And then what about her assistant coach has had some, Edmund, he's getting a little bit of notoriety from the show. What was your time with him like? I really enjoyed Edmund. He's a huge boxing fan. So, he was like really, really awesome doing the mitts with him and stuff. So I really liked him. I liked her whole team. They're like great people. Really? Like, I would do that show in a heartbeat again. Like, it was that great. So you actually enjoyed your time with her? I like 100% enjoyed it. It was, for me, I learned so much, and it was like, you have to be out of your element now. I'm not with my coach. I'm not with my son. you have to just kind of start fresh, and so it was a great experience for me, and I would do it again for sure.
And a couple other fighters of your competitors on the show. Another one we talked about earlier, Shayna Baszler. A lot of people who don't follow women's MMA got to know her a little bit from her show where she fought Juliana, and she came across a lot of people as arrogant and and not respectful and that kind of thing. How was your relationship with her, and do you think that do people know what she's really like that have seen that show?
Yeah, if you're just watching the show, like at the beginning, she was very confident, and I think people might have took that as being arrogant, but she's paid her dues. She's been in here for a very long time, but Juliana, she fought her butt off, and she had a great fight. So, but Shayna is hilarious. She jokes around, but I think that was just like the first weekend. She was really focused on fighting again. So that was like her training mode, or her zone.
So did any of the other fighters have a negative impression of her because of the way she was?
Of Shayna?
Yeah.
Not of Shayna. No, everybody loved her, probably except for Juliana.
Except for Juliana.
But they actually got along after just fine.
Oh, really?
It was Shayna was like joking, like that she lost and everything. Not joking, but she had a sense of humor about it. She wasn't so.
In the ghost.
Yeah, just like what he said.
And then the other one, real quick, Juliana. What was she like? She's another one that's been kind of a polarizing figure. Seemed like they portray that very popular amongst the other girls.
To be honest, she was not liked very much to the hop. I didn't get to know her, so I don't really know anything about her. A lot of the guys have problems with her. Like, you would just kind of hear a little gossip here and there. But I stayed with my team. I stayed in my room. I just did my thing. So I didn't try and make friends with her and her team. So.
Well, what about you as far as being kind of a sex symbol here? Is someone calling you a cougar on there, and then
oh, yeah.
have you enjoyed that kind of attention, or?
No, I was laughing. Anthony, he was just like a little boy, and I think he just said it just to say it. So, he was trying to hit on everybody in the house. It didn't work with anyone, but he was trying.
All right, then the next thing, just as far as exposure, you've been in boxing for a long time. You've been a multiple-time world champion. What's the exposure like from this been compared to boxing? Even though you're a world champion, and you're just kind of getting your feet wet here in UFC.
We were talking about this with Dina. This exposure is like more than I've ever had in my whole experience in boxing, my whole career in boxing. This has been the biggest thing to have ever happened to me now. And I'm 36 years old. I've been pro for over 13 years, and this right now is the biggest thing to ever happen to me.
And of course it's great now, but are you kind of upset in a way that all that you did in boxing, now looking back on it, and what you've gotten from this, that it was kind of maybe not?
No, I think you go through everything. Everything is your path. It's everything's supposed to happen the way it's supposed to happen. So I'm glad it happened now, because I wasn't ready for the MMA 3 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So
right.
It was like it's a perfect path for me. I feel.
In the house, what's it like living with people? Usually you're training in a gym in a different state, another country, whatever, train for someone. Here, you're actually living under the same roof with the people you're going to fight. What was that like?
It's very uncomfortable being with the same people that you're fighting, and especially I shared a room with the first girl that I fought. So it's very uncomfortable, but we're all grown-ups and we're all there to do the same thing, so at least we all had the same focus, same drive, instead of it just being like a party house or something. So it was cool.
So yeah, it wasn't like that too much, because you were referred to as a house mom, and I was kind of disappointed, because I remember when you brought us cupcakes the one day, I thought we were special, but I guess you do that for everybody.
No, I was like the mom in the house.
So you had mentioned, so it wasn't too crazy in there compared to some of the past seasons?
No, I think if I'm trying to think. The one guy that left, that hurt his leg?
Oh,
Timmy?
Yes.
He would have been he would have been a problem in the house, for sure, rowdy and loud, and nobody would have been sleeping. So we had a good vibe in the house.
And what about when you picked the teams? They had showed it. I can't remember if you wrote it down or you interviewed. You said you were kind of embarrassed to be picked last.
I was very embarrassed to be picked last.
So did that kind of motivate you to prove people wrong, or
no?
Make no difference to you?
No, no matter what, I knew I had to prove myself, because everyone knows I had a terrible MMA record, but some of them didn't even know that I was a boxer. Well, Sheena didn't know when she found out. She was like what? And so
So do you think maybe it was why you were picked last, because people didn't know you and kind of it was?
No, I think the other girls were just really great in their fights. I don't know the reason why I was picked. Ronda said I was 4th on her list, so but I still was picked last, so it sucked.
So no, you know, nobody knew who you were. You've said you didn't know who any of them were.
I didn't.
Do you feel it was kind of an advantage in a way or disadvantage to you?
Sorry. To not know them?
Well, they don't know you either, because like you said, she didn't know you're a boxer.
Exactly.
So theoretically, if you went up against her, I mean, they'll know at the time they fight you, but it's.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. You know, I didn't know anything about them, and they didn't know anything about me. So it just is what it is.
We just got a couple more here, and we'll let you.
Yeah, he's ready to
take care of business. Yeah, you mentioned your record's not really good. It was 1-3 going in here. Did you catch a lot of heat for that? A lot of people saying, oh, how'd you get on the show with the 1-3 record? Of course, people not knowing the level of competition you fought. Of course, one of those losses was a little controversial, and then of course, you win in those fights without proper ground training. But did you catch a lot of heat for your record? And
I think at first when they asked me what my record was, and then when they find out I have like 40 pro boxing fights, then they're kind of like, oh, okay, wait a second. And I told them I didn't know anything on the ground when I first started. I just took those fights strictly for the money, and that was the wrong reason, but it was my reason, so it is what it is.
2 more. Who in the show you've come closest to?
Probably Shayna and Jessamine Duke. I was the closest with.
And then as far as your last fight, we saw you last week. You fought Roxanne. She's probably
and I'm close with her too, actually. I just spent Tuesday with her.
Is she totally the way we see on TV? That's her?
Exactly the way she is.
Yeah.
Very, very sweet and uplifting, and that is totally her.
What's it like fighting someone like that? That you guys talked on the show that you guys agreed it was different when you got in the cage. You didn't see your friend or that, but what's it like fighting someone that you're sharing a house with? You're saying that you like. What's it like getting in the cage with her?
You do feel awkward at first, like what do you say to this person? But when that bell goes, I'm focused on fighting and I want to win. It doesn't matter friendships. They go out there and you'll be friends after. That's how it is, and that's how we all felt. We were all there for the same reason. So,
Did the fight turn out? I mean, obviously you expected to win, but did it go pretty much the way you had it planned? I mean, the first round was close. You did good damage from the bottom, but you probably would have lost that round.
Yeah.
Second round, she looked like she was completely gassed out. And I mean, what were your thoughts as far as the way the fight went?
Well, I was supposed to just box and try to keep it standing, but I was having a problem like with my shoulder, and it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. But she wasn't able to submit me, which was great. So I was a big underdog, but I'm used to that now in MMA. So.
And then I think maybe it's because she's such a fan favorite, but some people
they don't know me either.
Yeah, but the fence grab, you had a few of them there.
Yeah.
Do you think it changed the course of what would have happened in the fight? To me, it looked like the first two in the first round were pretty incidental. I mean, you were just trying to improve position a little bit. The second round maybe, but it looked at that point she was already done anyway. So what were your thoughts on the grabs, and do you think it would have changed anything?
Oh, like when I was standing and I grabbed it? Well, I really don't think it would have mattered too much because she wasn't able to hold me down in that second round.
Could you tell she was done at that?
No, she wasn't done. The people that do ground, they always can grab your legs and tangle you up, and they're safe, right? So I don't know. Who knows what could have happened, but I was planning on winning the fight. So.
Experience. How has UFC treated you? Is it MMA from here on out as far as you're concerned? No matter what happens with the Ultimate Fighter, what's the whole experience been?
The experience has been like perfect. I can't complain about anything. Dana is amazing. Like, he's the coolest, seriously. I love boxing, and that's going to be always like my heart, my first love. But right now, I really want to focus on MMA. I want to get better. I need to work on the ground and wrestling and kicking with Dewey. So I have a lot of work to do. So I want to do this for a while.
Jessica, congratulations.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you, and we look forward to watching you on TV some more.
Jesse, say bye.
Bye, Jesse.
Bye. Thank you.